I wish the title was clickbait.
This channel
And all of the work I've done
and I'm continuing to do on what I consider to be the cutting edge of ASMR is at risk of abandonment. I'm not going to mince words. This is a call to action.
The quickest way that I can think of
to ensure that this channel
stays active,
that we keep breaking new ground in this genre
is by direct support from you.
I'm going to approach this from what happens, regardless,
What's happened, I guess, and what will unfold.
What that means if we do nothing,
and what that means if
we do something, and then what we might could do about it.
First off, I lose my computer.
If I lose this position, the computer goes with it. That means no editing,
no Ableton, no uploads,
or no exclusive content, no high fidelity audio. I can't do this from my phone.
I can't be on Ableton. I can't mix and play with sounds
the way that I do on the computer on my phone. This is the main thing. This is like the biggest reason
to be worried.
I'm not worried. But if I was, this would be what I'd be worried about. Losing my job also means diminished income.
It was a solid job, you know. I made decent money. I was able to pay bills. I was able to feed
Maggie, my dog.
And I have to
make up for that. I have to make up for the loss.
Whether it's multiple part-times or consistent
contribution from your part. So,
what can you do about those things?
The computer is I've got it mapped out to where if 500 of you, that's about a tenth
of the whole audience,
donated $5 one time, I could easily afford a new laptop.
It'd be no problem.
I will link my Venmo. I will list my Venmo here.
Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, all the things.
If you can. It would mean the world to me
to know that it means enough to you that this community exists to donate.
As for the income, as for the stability
that came with this job that I'm losing,
if about the same amount, 500, joined my cheapest Patreon tier,
it's $3 a month.
That would replace the entire amount of income that I got from my old job. So 1 in 10 of you
can save this channel, can help us work together
to save this channel. If that doesn't happen,
I gotta get part-time jobs. I gotta get a job now.
I gotta turn around and make it happen. I gotta start looking for
part-time, for something that's consistent, for something that is
as flexible as my old job, so that Maggie has someone around all the time. She's old and she is delicate and she needs
attention.
This would be a great way to make that happen. But either way, I'm going to make it happen, you know.
Just depends on how willing and able
being the operative word, I think, here, you might be to help.
If and when,
I'm thinking, both of the above, the laptop is replaced and the income is replaced,
then my full-time job is making content for you, for us,
for the community. My full-time job is playing with sounds,
is making videos, is discovering new ways
to
feel pleasure. That's what this all is to me.
ASMR is crystallized gentleness, pleasure, crystallized
intimacy and vulnerability, and
to be able to do that full time.
I mean, I've got the motivation.
I've got the fire in me.
I just have to make it work with the bigger picture, you know.
And you can help. You can help.
What do you get out of it right now? If you were to help, if you were to donate, if you were to join Patreon,
I have decided that anyone
who donates at least $5 or joins the $5 Patreon tier
by the end of September can request a custom video.
Any style, whatever
floats your boat. Clothing is optional.
Aside from that, why should you donate?
You know, I'd be the first to admit that my Patreon has been a little sparse,
and that my uploads haven't been super duper consistent over the years, you know.
A lot of that is because of distractions and because of guilt around,
you know, the job that I'm now leaving.
So, what do you get out of it?
Starting with the main channel, I truly believe that we are growing something.
We are growing a genre, a community that otherwise wouldn't exist. On the main channel, I'll be teaching my method,
showing you and others and anybody who wants to know how to make these sounds, how to make
textures, how to make digital textures and approaches to ASMR,
and with the specific purpose of eliciting pleasure and gentleness. And
through that process, I'll be finding collaborators. I'm already finding collaborators who are curious
about this process and about the types of content that you can make. They
trust me.
And then, of course, responding to comments and talking to you, specifically, directly, you.
Hearing what you think, what you like, what you dislike, ways that I can make the content better, ways that
we can hone these sounds to sound more like the way we want them to.
The way you specifically, I'm not joking, want them to.
More videos means more data, more information on what you like.
It also means more practice on my end
towards making those sounds.
So that's the main channel. The other project that I have in mind, that I have cooking,
that I have on burners,
is applying my degree in psychology, my experience in psychology, to the behavioral, cognitive,
neurological aspects of ASMR.
How to use ASMR for good, how to use ASMR for motivation,
for pleasure, for
affirmation, for all of the things that gentleness and vulnerability
can foster. It's so big,
ASMR is so big, and there's so much, I don't want to call it toxic, but
there's content out there that doesn't necessarily center
positivity, that doesn't center
affirmation and abundance and
connection. A lot of it is very transactional
from my perspective. A lot of it is very
algorithmic. And I have loved
applying my experience with psychology, my background in psychology,
to my expertise with sound design, with music, with ASMR. I think I could make better sounds. I can center positive psychology in my content
and create a demand for it that might influence all ASMR content.
I also feel like I could contribute
not only to the genre, but also the field of psychology.
Better understand what ASMR is, why it works, what it does,
through reading journals, journal articles,
through conducting surveys, conducting experiments. There's so many
possibilities with a community like this.
And such a granular mode of producing these sounds. I have such control over the acoustics of it,
and I think there's a lot of power in the intersection
of those two things with regards to learning what
can be done with ASMR. So that's research.
That leads me to the final thing that is at stake
here. If I'm forced to
deprioritize this channel and ASMR, then
my exclusive content, my commissions, and my adult content will have to go. By the time this goes up, there will be,
I'm going to shoot for 3 new uploads to my Patreon
that will be exclusive, that will be
more adult in nature. I'd love it if you went over to Peak.
With that type of content, as with the research,
I want to center things like unlearning shame and centering pleasure
and centering gratitude
for our ability to experience ASMR, rather than feeling bad about it, rather than feeling guilty
about the things that make us feel good.
Center pleasure, center gratitude, center the self in a positive way, in an intentional way.
And as for commissions, I would love to
target individual preferences with this mode of creation in this space.
I want to create meaningful relationships with clients and collaborators with you. If
half of this job is just coming up with ideas,
and
I have loved the input that has come from you, the community.
I have loved
the ideas that I've gotten just from reading your comments, and I would love to strengthen that
by offering commissions, by working on things one-on-one.
That's why it feels collaborative to me.
You
illuminate a need, express a desire,
and we come together and we make something that fulfills that need.
fulfills that desire. All of that,
The main channel, the research that's happening,
and the exclusive content are all at stake right now.
this is an incredible opportunity.
For all of us, this whole community. I have the chance to commit myself,
Thanks to being freed from the shackles of
a 9-to-5 wage job, the chance to commit myself
fully to my passion, to a community
that has responded to all my content, to all my
lapses, to all my hiatuses, with love, enthusiasm, and patience
at every single turn. You
have the chance to invest in what I
truly believe is the future of ASMR. You have a chance to shape a community
that is at risk of dissolution.
So please work with me to keep this going.
To use this moment as a catalyst,
let's blaze a path together
and build a community centered around gentleness,
pleasure, and intention. As always,
thanks for being here.
It means so much.
I'll see you in the next one.
Whenever that is.